Today we're gonna make an instant chocolate mousse, and the first thing you need is coconut milk. So the thing about this, we're just using the solid part. So if it's separated, you're not actually gonna use the watery part. I guess that's what I saw. This is like a viral recipe. So maybe this can is all watery and it won't work, but I don't know, we're gonna find out. So okay, we have some solid on the top. That is great. All right, so coconut milk. And if you're doing keto, this is very low carb, like 2 carbs per serving. So no need to worry about that. You just want to make sure it's unsweetened. I may have went overboard because it said pop it in the fridge for a few hours. And I was like, oh, I only have 1 hour, so let me throw it in the freezer. And now it might be a little hard to get out. Oh, no, there we go. Okay. I think this spoon is just too flimsy. It is going to be hard to mix, though. I'm kind of worried about that because it's so hard. All right. So all that water in there, we're just going to leave it. I actually really like this stuff, and I used to put it in my coffee, not because there's anything wrong with dairy or heavy cream. You know, animal products, cow products, like that stuff is good for you. There's no reason to avoid it or limit your intake. I try to eat as much steak as possible, but there's just something about coconut cream that I do enjoy. So this is what we've got, and I did go a little too hard, like letting it freeze. So we're just gonna maybe we'll try the other can that isn't frozen. I don't know. I think we'll be fine. Okay, so what we need now, we've got our half a can of coconut, whatever. Some unsweetened cocoa A powder. I have a measuring spoon somewhere. Hello from Nova Scotia. Hey, what's up? Simply. So this is coconut milk, but I just took out the solid part. All right, so 2 tablespoons of cocoa A powder. What else do we need? A little bit of sweetener. This is just like Truvia. If you don't have powdered sweetener, you can just throw whatever sweetener you have in the blender. Or if you want to be healthy and like you don't do artificial sweeteners, you could put honey in there. Honey is pretty good for you. It's just not keto friendly. Trying your spinach and egg wrap tonight. Oh, nice. Let me know what you think. And I never measure vanilla like with the measuring spoon. I always just do 1 or 2 caps. Does anyone else use the cap from vanilla to measure it? All right, now we mix it. And I feel like I kind of messed up by freezing the coconut milk because there are some hard chunks in here. But look, apparently once you mix this, it's literally like mousse where, you know, usually you follow a mousse recipe and you have to put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. I think this is different where it's just instant. Like we'll be able to hold the jar upside down. Oh, we could also blend it, yeah. So, Crystal, you're saying, is there a such thing as too much vanilla? Listen, if you drink vanilla extract by itself, you will find the limit of how much vanilla is too much. Okay, so this is our mousse, and it smells good, it looks good. It's pretty solid. If you listen, you can hear a random toy always plays music. And like every 30 minutes, it just makes noise. And sometimes I wonder if Sophia hears it when she's sleeping. All right, we've got it mixed up pretty well. Let's taste it. Oh my God. This is so good. I want to blend it just to get the little frozen parts. It's not spilling. Look at that. This is legit mousse. It's not even budging. All right, guys, so that is how you make instant chocolate mousse. And I'm gonna take a picture of it afterwards. But seriously, go make this. I'll put the full recipe in the caption. We can blend it though, you know, just to get the full texture. I'll see if it's any better blended. Because right now, just like this, it tastes 10 out of 10. But we'll blend it and see if it becomes better. And guys, so the time change, my schedule on these lives will be a little different. Oh. I hope you guys didn't lose me. What is your advice for extensive stressful life, not just days, months, years of stress, intense stress? I find it almost impossible to stay keto when I am highly stressed. The carbs seem to help. So obviously, if you haven't done it already, therapy, I think, is like the first, if you can afford it, if it's accessible to you, is a lot of people are like scared to go to therapy, but it's one of the most beneficial things you can do. And a therapist, even if they're not doing keto, even if they don't have their health in check, they're going to be very helpful for you, because it's not necessarily about the advice they give you or what they tell you. It's about you getting these problems out of your head, and once they're no longer like in your head, they become a lot smaller and the stress is easier to deal with. So even if your therapist, you know, like can't help you do keto or stay on track, getting your problems out of your head, like write them on paper or tell them to your therapist, whatever, will make them easier to deal with, and that will make it easier to stay on track. So that's the first thing. All right, we're blending. All right, let's see if it tastes any better blended. Is it still moussey? It's still moussey, even blended. The next thing I would say that would help if life is just making it hard to stay on keto, try doing like just a low carb lifestyle, you know, because, okay, so you know what? Blending it was kind of weird because it's actually less moussey. So we actually learned something valuable here. Mix it with a spoon. Don't blend it. It was more moussey when I just mixed it with the spoon. Now it's actually more like watery. So I don't know what happened there. But yeah. Cool. So when I make the reel for this, I think we will call it Mouse A. So yeah, I think you guys are better off just mixing it with the spoon. It's still delicious either way though. All right, and I'll show you what I'm working on. We're kind of done with that now. I'm gonna do this reel. And Anna FaceTimed me. I'm gonna see. Our iPad might be dead. Maybe it will let me FaceTime her. She's at Costco right now, and I'm just gonna see what we can do. With the blender, you created heat. Oh, and true. Yo, this KitchenAid blender I have is like kind of old, and sometimes it starts smoking if I blend for too long. Let's see if I can FaceTime Anna from the iPad. New FaceTime. how do I do this? So this is synced with Anna's iCloud. How can I FaceTime her from the iPad if it... Okay. It might work now. We'll see. I'm pretty sure this is her number. Yeah, so I'm on the FaceTime app and I typed in her phone number, but I'm not getting anything. I don't know. But I showed you guys what we made today, so I'm gonna get off here. But before I do, I'll show you like kind of a little what we're doing next. So this is for a reel tomorrow, and it's zucchini chips. And look, in the video, I just show myself slicing the zucchini and then tossing it with oil and seasonings, and then air frying it with Parmesan. Because I find that the more like accessible and simple my reels are, the more people watch them, which means the more people we get to help get their health on track and find easy, healthy recipes. So I try to make them like dumbed down, you know, and like really simple. Because when I'm on social media, my attention span is so fast, I just can't watch a 30-second recipe video. Anyway, so in the video, I show myself just cutting the zucchini, seasoning it, adding Parmesan, air frying it, and then you have a finished product. And I thought that it would work fine. I was like, oh, this will work fine. But I skipped a step, which I'm still not going to put in the video because I'll just put it in the caption in the recipe. But so it's not like I'm skipping a step as far as like if you actually make it. But you really have to add salt and then pat it dry. And if you want to get it extra dry and extra crispy, one more thing you can do is put it in a coriander with salt and let it sit for 30 minutes. There was so much water that came out of this. So that's what I did. And look, if you skip the step of drying it, that's fine. But I just want you guys to see how much moisture you are avoiding. But I don't know if I mentioned the time change thing. So we decided not to put Sophia to bed later than usual. She's used to going to bed at 8:30 and waking up at 8:30, and now there's a time change. So we're not just gonna keep her up extra late and make her wake up extra late. Her body doesn't work like that. If we put her to bed an hour late every night, she's still gonna wake up at the same time. So we're kind of moving our schedule like an hour, we're just adjusting as far as like how we interact with the clock. But really we're just doing everything at the same time we usually do. So instead of keeping the lives at the usual time at like 5:30 to 6, I'm gonna do the lives from like 4:45 to 5:15. That way when I take over for Anna for the rest of the day, I take Sophia for like the last 2 hours of the day. That way I'm not finishing the live at 6 and then cleaning up and only getting to spend an hour with Sophia at the end of the day. So I'm probably gonna be starting these a little earlier. And I'm talking about Central Time. So if you're on the East Coast, they'll be starting around 5:30. If you're on the West Coast, that's what, like 2:30? So yeah. But look at all the moisture that came out of these. Specifically this bottom one. This is just like a wet paper towel now. Yeah, definitely, Laura. And you guys are my family too. Like these lives are the first feeling of community I've ever had in my life. And I would never just stop doing them, but adjusting the time so that I can still get that 2 hours with Sophia, I think is important. So if you guys can't make it, there's always the replays, and if it becomes a super big problem, maybe like on weekends, I'll do it at a later time to accommodate or something. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. So awesome. All right, I'm gonna get off here, and maybe if Anna's still at Costco, I'll figure out what she wanted. And I'll let you guys know tomorrow what she was FaceTiming me for. So yeah, and right now what I'm gonna do with these, now that I've patted them dry, I'm probably just gonna coat them in a lot of Parmesan and air fry them. And then you'll see the recipe for that soon. So I love you. I thank you guys for the supportive comments. And I'm glad we're all on the same page here. I love you. I believe in you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.